Alrighty everyone, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're having a great day. And over this last month or so, I've done my fair share of looking back, reflecting on all that 2021 had to offer in the world of country music, but now it is time to turn back around and focus my attention on this new year ahead of us, 2022. It's here, it's arrived, and despite being hardly 2 weeks into the year, there's already been quite a bit of news and rumors circulating, so today I thought it'd be fun to hop on for a bit and share the country albums I'm looking forward to the most in 2022. There's a few categories these albums may fall under. Some of them have been announced and are for certain 100% coming out this year. Some haven't been announced, but we've got some reasons to believe something's brewing behind the scenes, and some of these are just artists or groups I want to hear new music from for a variety of reasons, but there's no evidence to support that yet. Before we jump in, be sure to like the video if you enjoy, and if you're new, maybe consider subscribing for more country music content, and without wasting any more of your time, very first on my list has to be Brett Eldredge. Nothing has been confirmed or announced at the time of this recording. However, we did finally get a new track from him, Holy Water, which if you're interested, I went more in depth on in the most recent installment of New Music Friday. As I've said before, I just can't help but think this song is part of something bigger. It doesn't feel fully realized on its own, which is why I'm led to think this could be part of some bigger album. The track was produced by Dave Cobb, whose legacy is pretty cemented at this point. Bit of a change from Sunday Drive, which was produced by Ian Fitchick and Daniel Tashian, who you may know better from their contributions on Casey Musgrave's Golden Hour. I don't know, just a lot of questions to be answered regarding whatever Brett follows up Sunday Drive with, but I'm incredibly excited we've got the train on the tracks, and it does look like we may be getting something at some point this year. Next up, undoubtedly the biggest name on this list, Luke Combs should be dropping his third LP this year. He's been subtly hinting at a new record for a few months now, and as of December 18th, he said he's putting the finishing touches on his third album. Always intrigued to see what direction someone as big as Luke Combs decides to go whenever a new project is announced. Though we don't have any details, as I mentioned, it's pretty clear Luke will be dropping at some point in 2022. This year will mark 3 years since his sophomore record, What You See Is What You Get. Interested to see the changes he's made 3 years and a global pandemic later. And yeah, as I said, just always intrigued whenever someone the size of Luke Combs gets set to drop an album. Another big name I'd like to hear from this year is Jon Pardi. He arguably dropped the 2019 Album of the Year with Heartache Medication, but similar to Luke, we're coming up on 3 years since that project. Granted, he's still riding out the singles from that album, which I think shows the lasting quality it has, so while I can't and don't blame him one bit for sitting on Heartache Medication as long as he has, I'm definitely ready for a new chapter in the Jon Pardi story. Someone who hasn't announced anything but I'm just starving for new music would be Ashley McBryde. She dropped Never Will right at the beginning of the pandemic, which to this day I think quite highly of, but since then she's gotten pretty much dead silent in terms of releases. Other than a killer feature on Carly Pearce's new record, we haven't really heard anything from Ashley, so she's definitely someone I'll continue to keep a close eye on should anything start bubbling up. Ernest is another one where it's all but confirmed he'll be releasing his sophomore album this year. We all know how big 2021 was for Ernest. He's fresh off the release of what will easily become his biggest song to date, Flower Shops. It's already closing in on 5 million streams, and it's been just over a week since the release. Ernest has been on Twitter and Instagram hyping up his album that is most likely coming soon. If I had to guess, I'd ballpark it in the April to May area so it can be out by the summertime. Regardless, really looking forward to this album. Longtime viewers know I've been on Ernest, and yeah, super excited for how this one inevitably plays out. We're hardly 3 weeks out from the new Muscadine Bloodline album, dispatched to 16th Ave. Going to be slightly shorter compared to their debut, Burning at Both Ends. There's been 2 teaser tracks so far, the title track and Dying for a Livin'. I was pretty fond of both when they each came out, but honestly they've sort of faded on me. I haven't revisited them as much as I originally thought I would, but regardless, still excited with high hopes for this record. Another album that is set to release in just a few weeks would be the new Maddie and Tay project, Through the Madness Volume 1. 3 of the 8 tracks are out already. I enjoyed the 5th track, Madness, a fair bit, and I'm just really looking forward to this one, especially after a song as good as Die From a Broken Heart. I'll never not look forward to a Maddie and Tay project because though it's rare they'll be able to recreate that lightning in a bottle, the possibility is always there. While we're talking about albums that are releasing in the next few weeks, Brent Cobb has a new one coming on January 28th. I've been a pretty big fan of the teasers so far, so that's one I've definitely got my eye on. Morgan Wade is treating us to a deluxe version of her debut Reckless, which you all know I had as my #1 album of 2021. At the time of recording this, Run, the single, is out now, and the full deluxe comes out either this Friday or next Friday, I forget which one. Regardless, I'll give some more in-depth analysis on Run in the upcoming episode of New Music Friday, and as for the rest of the deluxe, though I'm not asking much of it, I'm definitely excited at the thought of 5 new Morgan Wade songs, 6 if you include Run. About 2 months ago, the man I just did a video on, Thomas Rhett, announced his plans to drop not 1, but 2 albums in 2022. Where We Started should be hitting us early 2022, not sure if that means the first quarter or simply before summer, and then the rather highly anticipated Side B to his Country Again series should be out in the latter half of the year. Simply based off of aesthetics and predictions with his latest singles in mind, I'm definitely more looking forward to Country Again Side B, but I'm interested to see how this middleman Where We Started plays out. Bryan always seems to be on the verge of releasing a new record, and while there's been nothing announced or heavily rumored at, I wouldn't mind some new stuff from Zach, especially given he's transitioned into some proper studios with professional producers. I thought it played out really well on his Quiet Heavy Dreams EP in 2020, so I'm definitely ready to hear some more. If we take a glance into the Texas scene, just days ago, Randall King announced his new album Shot Glass will be out March 18th. It's already been 4 years since Randall's self-titled debut, which is weird to think about, but I'm incredibly excited for this one. Randall has had some absolute gems in his very minimal, young discography, and I have no doubt there will be some more on this new record. Runaway June is an act I'd love to hear more of in 2022. They dropped a little 3-track bundle this past summer. In all honesty, though, I wasn't a big fan. I did like Down the Middle. I thought it played to the trio's strengths very well, but the other two, T-Shirt and Forgot About That, just didn't click with me. Nothing's been announced or rumored or anything. It's just one of those groups I'd love to get some new stuff from. I feel like Midland always has something cooking. I just have this feeling The Last Resort wasn't all they had up their sleeves. If it is, and they've got something entirely different on the way, that's cool too. But yeah, I've just got this gut feeling Midland is building up for something big in 2022. Or I could just be an overly optimistic fan. You guys will have to let me know in the comments which one it is. Brothers Osborne has operated on a bi-yearly album cycle for their career so far, so I'm wondering if they'll continue that trend in 2022. I was a pretty big fan of their Skeletons album in 2020, so I'm definitely curious if they'll build Younger Me into an album at some point this year. The Wilder Blue dropped 2 songs in June of 2021 that somehow went completely under my radar. I was a big fan of their debut in 2020, and seeing how aligned the cover arts for these singles are, I can't help but ponder the possibility that it's going to be part of a new album. And lastly, Gabe Lee. There hasn't been any hints or rumors he will be dropping, but when you start your career with Farmland followed by Honky Tonk Hell, you should just assume I'll be waiting in the wings at all times. Just waiting, peacefully. Anyways, those are the albums I'm looking forward to the most in 2022. This video was pretty impromptu, just figured why not hop on and share some thoughts, but now that I've rung all those names off, it's got me pretty excited. I think 2022 has the chance to be a really big year for country music, especially the neo-trad side of me is getting super amped up. 2019 was such a hype year for the rise of the neo-traditional movement, and so the thought of Luke Combs, Jon Pardi, and Midland once again all dropping albums in the same year, that gets me up and moving in the morning. Regardless, be sure to let me know the albums you're looking forward to in the comments below. Links to the Instagram, Discord, and podcast are all down below in the description. Check those out, like the video if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, and here's to a fantastic 2022. That rhymed. Get schooled. Adios.